The one guy who's been, for the most part, consistent this year, I think, or quietly consistent, is Marco Rossi. And I know you wrote a good column on him last week or so regarding kind of his, consistency and where he is at in his game and where he's at in the Wild's eyes, right? Like he continues to be part of these trade rumors and stuff like that. But it seems as though he's playing like a guy who wants to stay. And like you talked to Bill Guerin about him, right? And like as of right now, it seems like they're not shopping him.
Yeah, and they had been for the last 2 off seasons. Like, Arizona could have probably gotten him for a first round pick. I think Philadelphia could have gotten him last year, maybe even for Cutter Gauthier. Columbus has been offered him and for guys like Juracek and Sillinger, last season as well. This is not just made up rumors. The Wild had not been sold on him, or were trying to maybe sell high. And that has, in my eyes, changed, pretty significantly here. Now, this does not mean that things like if he dries up, if the team, somehow collapses, like it doesn't mean it's just a guarantee that they're going to re-sign him next summer and not put him back on the market. But right now, they're not moving him. He's not looking to move him right now. He has done everything that they've wanted. He's not the perfect player. I mean, you've actually seen the last couple of days where, sometimes his size becomes an issue. He as good as he is at the net front, he's not great there at retrieving pucks. That's why he was back on the second unit with Eriksson Ek back yesterday. He's just got courage, beyond belief for somebody his size. He's always at the net, willing to be there, get into it with, Matthew Tkachuk a couple of weeks ago and Brady Tkachuk last night. So Tkachuk's clearly get under his skin. You saw Bedard go after him the other night, which was bizarre. So he's got, and usually when players come after you, good players like that, it's that they recognize that
it's respect.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely respect. And so I just love it. I just think that he's just such a pro. Bill Guerin is, he's proud of him. He's continued to sell him. It would be, a real shame if the Wild drafted and developed the center that turned out to be a heck of a player. But is he a guarantee? Like, is he your true number one center? I don't think so. So that's the issue, is where the Wild are trying to figure out where can they plug him in long term if they got to sign him long term, and it's a valid question. I know that it's hard for us to understand in the now, like how you could even consider moving him, but when they're looking long term, big picture at their prospects, at the fact that they're going to be flush with money at some point here when the cap goes up, and there's this edict to go get free agents, they're looking at it as like, all right, where is he? If he's not your number one center, is he your number two? Is he your number three? Where's Urov fit into this? Where's Riley Height fit into this? So, that's the issue, is that they're just trying to project it out.
And what I've loved about Rossi, he's done everything that they've asked him to do, right? Yeah. Like he spent the whole summer, a couple summers ago. Last year, John Hines asked him to skip playing for his home country, the qualifying games there. He came early. And I think you said in your story, one of his best decisions he made was, or best things for him was going back to Iowa initially that first year. And I think Scott and I were curious too, are they using like the Rossi model for Liam Ohgren right now?
I think so. I think Liam showed, I think Liam's a little different. He's got the NHL shot right now, and he's bigger and, could skate well and all that stuff. But when he was up here, he did not show that he was ready in both a bottom six role, and he even got times on the second line, and it just, there was nothing there. So I think the fact that he's starting to play well in Iowa, score a lot, I think they want to just let him bake down there a little bit. Clearly they do, because they're bringing up, minor league guys like Brendan Gaunce and Ben Jones and Devin Shore and Reese Johnson and Travis Boyd, and they're sort of leaving him down there. And Bill Guerin says in that story that that's exactly what we're doing. And if you look at Marco Rossi, he says, I trusted their process. Now, was I happy about being in Iowa? No, but I trusted their process. I handled it maturely, and I went down there and I worked on my game. But the best decision he made was spending that summer here, skating with Andy Ness, working out with Matt Harder, getting on the ice with guys like Anders Lee, James Van Riemsdyk, Blake Wheeler, Nick Dowd, Kirill Kaprizov, Brock Faber, a couple guys that I'm missing as well, Brock Nelson. And when you're at that point not an NHL player, and you're watching all these other NHL players work and skating with them, it can only help your game get better. And he came ready to play last year, and he's come ready to play again this year.